When you open the Siemens NX tool, this is the interface that you see. Here you have new, open, recently opened parts, assemble, touch mode, window, and help. Let us start with new. When you click on new, you have different options, which is multi-axis deposition, inspection, mechatronics concept designer, line designer work areas, and line designer, route, model, drawing, additive manufacturing, machining line planner, and manufacturing. So here I'll be selecting the model. You can select the unit which you want. It could be inches or millimeters. And here we'll select model again. Let me name this as extrude. You can name it anything based on the project you're working on and give OK. So once you click OK, this is the modeling interface that you get. Here you have datums where you can select datum plane, axis, or coordinate system, sketch, extrude, revolve, and many other base features. In the Home tab, we'll select Extrude, and here we'll select on this icon, which is the Sketch section. Once you select the Sketch section, you can select the plane where you want to sketch. I'm going to select it as the top plane. Click on the top plane and give OK. Now we are in the sketch mode. Here you have different options like profile, rectangle, circle, line, and so on. I'm going to select rectangle. In rectangle, we can either go by 2 points, 3 points, or center, and so I'll select the center, click on the length I want, and then place it here. You can select the size in case you're not happy with this selections. You can always click on escape and then select the sketch which you have created and click delete. So let's create the rectangle again. Click on the rectangle and here I'll select 70. Click on tab and then I will select it as 50. Angle, I'll keep it as 0 and click enter. As you can see, the rectangle sketch has been created. I will click on finish. We have exited the sketch. Here I will give the thickness as 10 mm and give OK. As you can see, our extrude feature has been created. Let us now understand the datums in the Siemens NX tool. Here we have the datum plane. We can select datum axis or the datum coordinate system. Let us begin with the datum plane. In order to create the datum plane, first select the surface where the plane needs to be created. I'm going to select this surface. You can always offset from the surface as shown below. Here, let us keep it as 0 mm and give it as OK. Let us create another datum plane. Similarly, we'll be selecting the surface from where we want to offset. This time, let us offset it by 15 mm. You can always reverse the direction as shown. And if you want to increase the number of planes, you can increase it by clicking on this option. So in case you want 10 planes, this is how it would seem. Right now, let us select 2 planes and click OK. You can see the planes are being created in the model tree. We can always hide the planes which are not needed for this study. I'm going to hide all the planes except these two. You can also hide the extrude feature or the datum coordinate system. Now let us create an axis which is offset from this plane by 10 mm in the reverse direction. Give it as OK. Select the axis and select where the axis needs to be created. So if it is intersection, click on intersection. Here it asks for the two objects that are intersecting. In our case, it's going to be one, the datum plane, and another datum plane. So I have selected both the intersecting planes and click OK. As you can see, the axis has been created. You can always hide by right clicking, or you can edit the parameters as shown below. In order to create a new coordinate system, click on this datum option. You can select the datum coordinate system. Here you have different options like dynamic, inferred, origin x point, x-axis, y-axis, origin, and so on. Let us start with dynamic, where you can move the coordinate system wherever you want by clicking on the mouse button and dragging the coordinate. To put it in a specific coordinate system, you can select selected coordinate systems and select the coordinate system where you want your new coordinate system to be placed. And once you're done, click OK. You can delete this from the model tree by right clicking on the model tree coordinate system and then clicking on delete. Same can be done with other datums where you can delete them whenever you do not want them. You can also hide the datum planes or options in the coordinate system by clicking on this. As you can see, even the extrude feature has been hidden. I'll hide the coordinate system as well, and the coordinate system is hidden. Let us now create a sketch in Siemens NX tool. To create a sketch, click on the sketch icon, select the plane where the sketch needs to be created. I am going to select this plane. Once the plane is selected, click OK. So now we have the reference and the plane. So let us create the sketch. I'm going to use the line command. Click on the length you want. I'm going to select the line command again, select the endpoint. The endpoint is seen when it's highlighted as shown. I'm going to take the vertical length of 7 mm, click OK. You can again select the endpoint. In case you want to have a continuous sketch, you can always select this profile, go to 4, select 2, and select 2 again. So you can just keep clicking on the dimension. Once you are okay with all the dimensions and the sketch, right click and click OK. So our sketch has been created. Click Finish to exit. As you can see, the sketch has been. In order to create a revolve feature in Siemens NX, click on the revolve feature icon. Before we go to revolve, you can either create a sketch from the sketch icon. Here I have already created a sketch, as you can see. So I will directly go to the revolve command. Here we have to select the curve. I'm going to select the sketch that was created. When it is specify vector, we can either select the vector from the sketch, which is the line, or if you have some other area where the axis needs to be shown, you can select it. For example, you can select the x coordinate from the coordinate system. Currently, I'll be using the sketch line as the vector. You can specify the angle. If you want it at 360 degrees, you can specify it as 360. As you can see, the revolve feature is created. I'm going to select it as 180 degree, and you can see the feature has been created to 180 degree. Once you're okay with the feature, you can click OK, and the feature will be created. I already have an extrude feature which was hidden, so I'm going to unhide it now. As you can see, both the features are shown. Let us now use the hole feature. In order to create a hole, you can select the hole feature from the Home tab. Here you can select the type of hole, the simple, counterbore, tapered, threaded, countersunk, hole series, and so on. So let me use counterbore for now. I will place the dimension as 6, the diameter as 8, hole depth as 6 mm, and the angle as 120 degrees. So click on the plane where you want the hole to be created. So I'm going to select the face of this extrude and click on the hole. So in case you want to change the dimension, you can do it over here. So as you can see, the angle gets changed. You can also change the other parameters based on your requirement. You can create another hole, or if you're satisfied with one, you can click OK. In case you want to change the position of this hole, you can go to the model tree, click on Edit Parameters, select the dimension that needs to be changed, and you can change the same. As you can see, I have changed the position of this hole. Let us now use the Unite feature in Siemens NX. To use the Unite feature, click on the Unite icon in the Home tab, select the target body. I'm going to select this revolve feature and the tool as the another body. You can preview the result and then click OK. As you can see, a Unite feature has been created here. You can edit the same from the model tree. Let us use the extrude feature to remove material. In order to do that, click on extrude, select the plane where you want the sketch to be created, select the sketch feature. I'm going to select the circle and I'm going to type it as 2 mm as the diameter. Once it's satisfactory, click on finish. You can change the direction of the feature by flipping the direction. You can also change the distance as shown below. So I've changed it to 25 mm. You can change it even further, let's say 10 mm. And as you can see, the feature has been created. Click OK to exit the extrude feature. Let us now use the subtract icon. In order to use the subtract, let me create another extrude or another body. I will hide the datum planes except datum 2. Use extrude command. Select sketch section. Select the datum plane where the sketch needs to be created. Click OK. I'm going to use the arc. We are going to use arc by center and endpoints. Select the center. Select the radius as 5 and create the arc. Use line to join these ends. Click OK to finish the sketch. Here we will select symmetric value and take the value as 35 mm. Click OK to exit the extrude feature. I'm going to hide the datum plane. We have two bodies now. We are going to subtract one from the other. So the body which we retain, we'll keep it as the target for the tool. we will select the new extrude feature we have created. As you can see, this feature has been removed from the main body. Click OK, exit. Now let us use the edge blend command. Select the edge where the blend needs to be created. Select the radius and click OK. We will use another time. This time we have options like G2 curvature, where you can see the curvature is not tangent, or we could use the conic command where we can change the center radius. So I will set as 15 and change this value as 5. Click OK, and as you can see, the edge blend has been created. Let us use the chamfer command in the Home tab. You can see this is the chamfer command. Click on it. Select the edge where the chamfer needs to be created. I am going to select this edge. Select the distance if it's symmetric. So I'm going to create 10 mm and click OK. So as you can see, the chamfer has been created. We'll create another chamfer. This time we will select it as asymmetric, and as you can see, there are two distances that are being asked. I'm going to convert this to 20, make this as 10 and click OK. So this is an asymmetric chamfer that has been created. Let us now create multiple edge blends. Click on the edge blend command. I'm going to select circular. Select the edges which needs to be created. Click on add new set. Select the edges. Let us make this 10 mm. Click OK. And as you can see, multiple edge blends have been created on the extrude feature. Let us use the draft feature to create a draft on these surfaces. The draft feature is in the Home tab. You can see this icon. Click on the icon. Select the vector. I'm going to select the z-axis as the vector. You have to select the stationary face. This is the flat face from where the draft is going to be created. Selected the stationary face. Now we will go to the faces to draft. Select faces. We'll start by selecting this face. And as you can see, the draft is created. We will edit the angle. You can put it as 15 degree. I will place it as 5 degree. Click OK, and you can see that the draft has been created. I'm going to hide the sketch, and you can see how the draft has been created. Let us now learn about the shell feature in Siemens NX. In order to create the shell of this particular model, go to the Home tab, Here you will go to the shell feature. You have options of open and closed. So you can see what these two options mean in the preview. I'm going to select open, select the face, click OK. This thickness is too high for this particular model. I'm going to change the thickness to 2 mm, and you can see, since it is possible to create the shell feature is going to be created. Let us now use the pattern feature. Let me create an extrude feature on this plane. I will choose this. I'll use the circle command and create a circle. Finish. I'm going to give the distance as 4 mm. Make it 5 mm. Click OK. So this extrude feature is going to be patterned. In order to pattern, select the feature to be patterned. Select on the pattern feature icon. I'm going to select linear. There are other options like circular, polygon, spiral, long, general, and reference. Let us start with the linear. We have to specify the vector or the direction to be patterned in. I am going to select this direction. We have 5. From 5 count, I will convert it into 4 count. Make the distance between each pattern as 8 mm and click OK. As you can see, a patterned. Let us now learn how to use the mirror feature in Siemens NX. In order to use the mirror feature, go to the Home tab, click on the mirror feature, select the feature that needs to be mirrored. I'm going to select the Revolve 7 as the feature to be mirrored. You have to select plane along which the mirror has to be performed. I'm going to select the datum plane 4, select the plane. You can use show result to look at the preview. If it is satisfactory, click OK. The mirror feature has been created. Let us now use the move and delete commands in Siemens NX. I will hide this datum plane. To use the move command, in the Home tab, go to the move icon, select the face which needs to be moved, and specify the distance. I'm going to say 10 mm, and as you can see, the face which was a drafted face gets offsetted by a distance of 10 mm. You can deselect the face finders in case you want to select a different face. Right now, I'm going to keep it at this distance. Angle is 0. You can change the angle as well. So as you can see, the angle is specified from the face. If it is in a different direction, you can use negative and click OK. Now let us use the delete command. Click on delete. Here I'm going to remove this hole. So select the face, and as you can see, the hole has been removed. Click OK, and we have removed this hole. Now let us understand the offset command in Siemens NX. In the Home tab, go to the offset. Here you can select the face. We are selecting a single face. You can see there are different options. You have single face, tangent face, adjacent faces, feature face, region boundary faces, boss or pocket, rib faces or slot faces. Let us start with the single face. I'm going to offset it by 5 mm, and as you can see, similar to move, you have offset of 5 mm, and click OK. But right now let us try to use another offset option. So I'm going to undo the offset which was created. Let us create another offset, but this time let us select tangent faces. So I'm going to select this and this, and right now I'm giving an offset of 5 mm. You can see the feature has scaled or expanded by 5 mm since we had selected all the three faces. Click OK, and as you can see, the offset has been created. Let us now create a new drawing. In order to create a new drawing, click on New in the Siemens NX tool. Here, select Drawing, select the unit, millimeters, inches, meters. Let us select millimeters. Select the drawing size. I'm going to go with A4 size. You can name the drawing. I'm going to name it as Exercise Creator Zone. Click OK. Here you can give the input. So first issued, let me call it as XYZ drawn by, you can name it zone, and I'm going to give it as subscribe ASAP. So you can give the check by, approved by, drawn by names. Once you have created the template, which is the standard template from Siemens, you can select the base view. So since I do not have any models open in the session, I would like to open the same from my desktop. Click on the sheet. You can get the projection views. Let us now create a in any
detailed
angle you
view
want
in
So I'm
Siemens
going to
NX
go with
drawing.
to create
A detailed view,
perpendicular
go to the Home
projections.
tab, click
Once your
on
projections
detailed
are
view.
done, you
You
can
can select
close this.
the
You have
type
your
of detailed view
views
you want,
created. You
circular,
can place
rectangle
these
by
views
corners,
by
rectangle
clicking
by
on the
center and
box
corner. as
So
shown
I'm
below
going to choose
and
circular.
dragging them
Select
wherever
the
you
center
want.
point where the detail view needs to be created. We're going to select this point, specify the boundary. You can drag, look at the size. I'm okay with this size, so I'll click OK and select the place where you want the detailed view to be. I'm going to position it here. Click
Let us
close
now create
to
a
exit
sectional
the
view
detailed view in Siemens NX. You can move
first and make some
the
space for
annotation
the sectional view.
as shown. You can
Next,
in the home tab go to the
position
section view, the annotation
in this icon.
by dragging it.
You have different options.
Like select existing or dynamic. Since it's a new one, let us go with dynamic. We have to specify the location of the section. I'm going to position the section where I want it. So I will select this area. In this view, we can take any angle we want. So let us take it in this vertical direction. So once the sectional view is created, you can move it. I'm going to delete this detail view to show you the sectional view. In order to delete a view, select the view and click on delete. So as you can see, the sectional view, that is section BB, has been created. We can double
Let
click
us now create a
on
section
the
which
annotation
is not
to
straight
change
section,
the
but
height
if we
factor.
have a section which
So you can see
changes the direction,
it has been
we
changed.
can do that. So before we do that, I will delete this section to make room. Click yes. Go to section line, select standalone, select the section view, create the profile along which the section needs to be created. So this is not going to be a straight line. We will create it as shown below and say finish. Apply, and you can see the section has been created. Let's go to the section view so that we can create a section view from this section C. In order to create the section view, we will select existing, select this section, drag it out, and you have the section over here. Close, move it to the top so that the section is visible. Let us now understand dimensioning in Siemens NX drawing. Here we have a drawing. Here are few drawing views, and we are going to dimension the same. In order to dimension, go to the Home tab, click on Rapid for a quick dimensioning. Here I'm going to select the diameter, click on the diameter, and you can see that the dimension has been created. In order to change the format of this dimension, double click on the dimension. Here you can change the style. I'm going to select horizontal text. You can make it into different tolerancing. You can also change from diameter to radius. Click close to exit. I'm going to push this dimension to this side so that I will create another one using the linear command. Here I'll be selecting two phases. So I'll select this to this. In order to do that, the first object will be this. Select the second object and click on the object that the dimension needs to be created. Click close, exit. In order to change the dimension, I will round it off to 0 decimals. So you can do that here. You can also type in any notes if there are any. So you can make all these changes using these options. So you can go horizontal as well. I'm going to take it back to vertical, drag it out so that it's clearly visible. You can also drag this dimension back to where it was. So this is how you create basic dimensioning. I'm going to create another one with angles. It is the same step where you select first object and then you select the second object and then you can show the dimension. Click close, exit. In order to push it outside, you can always use this. Here we have other options. We have callouts and ordinates in the dimension tab. You can also take chamfer by clicking on this. Let us now
thickness,
create
arc
note
length,
in
perimeter dimension.
Siemens NX drawing. In order to create a note in the home tab, go to note. Here you can click, you can type the note you want to type. I'm going to call it as drawing for exercise purpose. Click on the location where you want the note to be and click close. So as you can see, the note is created here. You can position it anywhere you want. Let us now understand how to add
And
BDNT symbols in
place it
Siemens NX.
in the location.
In order to add the control frame, the feature control frame, we can go to the Home tab and select the feature control frame. We have to position it where we want. I'm going to position it here and then I'm going to select leader and select the terminating object. So it's going to be on this surface. I'm going to give it as OK. I'm going to change this position. As you can see, we can change it wherever we want it to be. And once we have selected the location, click OK. Here I'm going to change from straightness, flatness. So I'll go here and here you can select if it is composite feature control, you can go with this option, or if it's single, let's go with this. We can select the different tolerances like position, flatness, profile of a surface, angle, and many more. I'll go with flatness. Select the dimension. I'm going to give it as 0.2 mm. You can also specify if it's least material condition, maximum material condition. In this case, we'll keep it as none. You can, if it was a diameter, you could have position given it as diameter, and square if it was a square. You can also add different symbols that are available. Once you're done with this, you can go with different like primary, secondary, tertiary datums. Again, I'm going to keep it as none. Once this is satisfactory, click on OK to exit. As you can see, a GD&T symbol has been created in the drawing. You can again position it wherever you want. Let us create a datum feature symbol in the Siemens NX drawing. In order to create a datum feature symbol, go to the Home tab, click on the datum feature symbol, specify the location, and in case you need a leader, add a leader, position the symbol, and click close exit. As you can see, you can create a datum feature symbol and position it after that by moving the symbol in the drawing. Now let us add some symbols to our drawing views. First, let us see how we can add a surface finish symbol. In the Home tab, click on the surface finish symbol. Select the surface where the symbol needs to be added. I'm going to select this surface. Click on the surface. You can choose open modifier, or any other option. You can also add text. I'm just going to show in the upper side as well as the lower text. You can add waviness, and you can see how the symbol looks like. Also, in case you want to add a balloon, click on the balloon. You can type the number for the balloon. In the leader, click on add new leader. Select the location and click on close to exit. In case you do not need a leader, click on the balloon, enter the text, and directly click on the drawing. Click close to exit. Let us now understand how we can create table in Siemens NX drawing. Let me clear some space. So I'll just delete these views. In order to create a table, go to tabular note in the Home tab. Click on the number of columns needed. I'm going to give it as 5. Make this as 3. And then column width, you can change it. I'm going to make it 20. And click on the location where you want it. Close if you need no longer need any more tables. Click on the cell and you can type the data you want. I'm going to type a serial number, and here you can type numbers. Similarly, you can manually input all the data
Let us
as
now
shown
understand how we can
in
do
this video.
surface modeling in Siemens NX. I will open a new model. You can select model and any units you need. I'll be selecting millimeters and I will name this as surface modeling exercise. Click OK. Our file has opened. Now I will start with creating a sketch. I will select the front plane, click on OK, and I will start with an arc. I will change the dimension to radius of 50, and then I'll say finish. So once my arc is created, I will go to surface. So let us start with extrude, and you can see how my extrude looks like. I will give it as 25 mm and give OK. Next, I will create another sketch and show you how the swept command works. Go to the home tab, click on the sketch. Now I'll select the top plane. I will create an arc again. This time it will be from this point and I'll take it like this. Once again, I'll go to the surface tab, click on swept. Now that there is nothing selected here, I will select this curve, and for the guide, I'll select it as this. You can see our swept has used this as a guide and using the section which was created earlier. I'll give it as OK. Let us now understand the true curve command in this Siemens NX surface modeling. First, let us create another datum plane. I will offset it from this at about 80 mm. Click OK. I'll select this datum and I will start a sketch. I will make an arc. Close. OK. I'll select the dimension as 30 mm radius and then finish the application. Next, I'll go to surface, select through curves, and in through curves, I will first select the curve, middle mouse button,
and select the next one. As you can see, the surface seems to be colliding. This is because the points needs to be changed, needs to be flipped. So I will cancel this selection. I'll go to through curves again, select the surface, and while selecting the other surface, I'll also select this area, middle mouse button, and click. So now you can see the surface is blended well and the through curve has been created. I'll click OK, exit, and the surface has. Let us now use the offset surface and the thicken command in the Siemens NX surface mode. First, let's try thicken. We can increase thicken the surface by selecting the surface, increase the thickness. Also, multiple faces can be selected as shown. Click OK to create the thickened surface. We can use offset. So before I use offset, I will hide the thicken and I will only show the faces. Click on offset, select the face that needs to be offsetted. I'll make it as 10 mm and in the opposite direction. As you can see, the offset has been created. Multiple surfaces can also be selected. In this case, what I will be selecting only this surface, click it as 10, opposite direction, and click OK. So the offset has been created, and in case I want these two surface as well, I will make another offset and 10 along with this surface and give it as OK. I will hide these two offset surfaces and I will merge the faces. In order to merge it, click on Sue, select this first sheet body and the second sheet body. Click OK. So as you can see, these two surfaces has been combined or sewed together. I'll create another shoe, but this time I'll select the
Let
other
us use the extend
face
sheet command
surface,
in the
and you can
surface
see the
modeling
complete
in Siemens NX.
surface sheet
So go
is
to the surface tab.
concluded
Here
as one.
you will have extend sheet. Click on the extend sheet. You can select the edge which you want it to be extended. I have selected this edge. Select the dimension to which the extension needs to be done and click OK. You can also create an extension to curved surfaces as shown below. I'm going to reduce the length. It's going to follow the same path as the original surface. Click OK, exit, and you can see
In order to measure a feature in Siemens NX modeling tool, go to Analysis tab, click on Measure. Here you can select the area or the surface which you need to measure. So as you can see, the data is provided like area, perimeter, radius, centroid. You can also filter the measurement data and only select the ones which you need. Click OK once done. In case you want to measure the edge, the steps are similar. You will have to select the edge and can get the dimensions of the edge. So undo the filter and I can see that the dimension is provided, which is radius of 3.5, and here the surface is having a radius. You have to remove this so you can see the radius of the surface, which is 2.5. Let us now learn how to create a new part and edit the display color. We will create this part and later use this part for the assembly in Siemens NX tool. I'm going to name this part as top. Click OK. Here I'm going to start with sketch. I'm going to select the top plane. Click OK. Select rectangle. I'm going to use rectangle by center. I'm going to add the dimensions for this rectangle. You can click on the line in case you haven't given the dimension initially. So I'll click on the highlighted line and double click to change the dimension. Here I'm going to make it as 50. So this is 150 by 50 mm. I'll add another rectangle here. We will be using the trim command to later edit this. So you can use trim to delete the unnecessary lines. Similarly, I'll be creating another rectangle on the side by 20. Tab, click 20 and enter. Use trim again. So this will be the top part, and finish. I'm going to extrude this at 15 mm. OK. So once this part is ready, we will go to the editing the display. In the display tab, click on edit object display, select the object, click OK. Here you have color. You can select any color you want. I'm going to go with blue. Click OK, apply and OK. So as you can see, the body display has been changed. Click save to save this model. We will now create a new model. Create a new model. Click on new. I'm going to call this as leg. Click OK. I have to select sketch. I'm going to select the right plane. Click OK. Here I'm going to use the rectangle with corner point. Sorry, center point. I will select it at this distance and make this as 15 mm. We'll make this distance as 20. Now I will create the legs, which is using lines. I will select it up to 15 on one side. I'm going to give it at an angle, make it as 75 mm and angle as 240. Use this endpoint, create another line. I'll do the same on this side. Mm, keep going. So length, I'll keep it as 75, tab 300. Now I'll trim the corners. You can use the corner to select the areas which are needed. I'll use trim to remove the unnecessary lines. Click on finish, extrude. So I'm going to give it as 10 mm, extrude and OK. I will also change the display. Go to edit display, select the object, click OK, select the color which we desire. I want to go with red, apply, OK. We can now create the assembly. Let us go to new, go click on assembly. We'll name this assembly as whatever we desire. Click OK to open the assembly. Here, click on open. Click on the part that you need to open. Click on position component. Keep restraints and then OK. Let us now add fixed constraint to this part. You can select on fix from the assemblies. We have to select the object, selected the object and click on OK. Now you can see this part is fixed to the current position. Let us now add another component to this assembly. We will select the part as leg, click on the anchor as absolute. Here we will have to select the position where we want to click. We can either use a coordinate system or place the component at absolute origin, or place the component at absolute origin of the displayed assembly and place the component at the coordinate system that we have. So I'm going to select this and position the part where I want it to be. Click OK. I would also like to give constraints. So let us give touch constraint for this surface and the inner surface. As you can see, the part has positioned itself. OK. We will give another touch constraint which will be coinciding this surface with this surface. Click OK when done. We would now give another touch constraint which will coincide these two surfaces, but since the first constraint is obstructing this, we will have to cancel it and we can delete the constraint by right clicking on the constraint to be deleted. Let us use parallel and you can see the constraint gets created. Again, if you want to delete the constraint, You have to click on the constraint, select the constraint, and delete. Let us now understand the move component command in Siemens NX assembly. Click on move from the assemblies. You have to select the component, then you have to specify the orientation. So this Z axis would be my orientation, and click on OK to exit. I will give touch command or constraint on this assembly and select the components, apply, and OK. Let us now understand the auto align constraint. Here I had added a touch constraint, and as you can see, this is the touch constraint. I will delete this and show you how auto align constraint works. We are going to select auto align constraint. We are going to select the two objects that need to be aligned, and as you can see, the component has aligned itself. Click close to exit. Let us now understand the pattern component command in the Siemens NX assembly interface. So we want this part on the other side. I will use pattern component. The count will be 2. I know this distance is 150 mm and the groove is about 10 mm. So 150 minus 10 mm, we would keep it as 140 mm, and this would be the component which we are going to pattern. We have to specify the vector or the direction where the pattern needs to be created. So this x-axis is the direction where I want it. I will click on X, and as you can see, the component is added on the other side. Click OK to exit. As you can see, the simple assembly of a bench has been created.